Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB, or you can call me Chris, and today we're going to do some experimenting with Kaizen from Sneaky Pete Charcalis. We're going to do the Doug Bear. I think he's called his channel Barely Normal Shaving. I will link it below. He did something that I've never seen before, so I said, I got to try that. Doug Bear, really nice guy. I encourage you to follow his channel below or subscribe to it. He's given me a number of tips that I appreciate. Thank you, Doug. We'll get into what we're going to do in a minute. Before we get into that, I want to thank everyone who's contributed to the fundraiser for Manny from SoCal Shave. We really appreciate it. We're raising funds for the funeral expense and to help the family. And it's so wonderful for those of you to contribute. And I want to mention just a few people right now. The Scented Soldier Shaves. Tim. I reached out to Tim, and he's really taken the lead on putting this together. So Tim from the Scented Soldier Shaves, thanks very much. I'm working behind the scenes asking artisans if they're willing to donate things for the raffle and so on. But anyway, I want to thank some of the people who've contributed already, artisans. Heather as Zingari Man, Douglas Smythe, PAA, Zaharoff, I think his name was, I don't know his first name, but Zaharoff Fragrance, Soap Commander, Carry It Soap Commander, Rick Neiman from Loose Crew Shaving, Mojo Craftworks, Gary at Mojo Craftworks, also Rich from Rich Man Shaving, and Sterling. All of those companies have agreed to put in items for the raffle. And so essentially for $5, you get one entry, and for every $5 you give, you get an additional entry. There's going to be a lot of things given away, including a raw shaving razor that I'm throwing in there. Anyway, if you want to contribute, there'll be a link below. We'll get into more of that later, but let's get to the shave today. Thanks to all of you who've contributed. Thanks to everyone, all the artisans, and this list will be changing. So if you do contribute, you'll have an opportunity to win some cool stuff. So, okay, so Doug Bear, he showed a lather method today that I have never seen. And so what he did was essentially, now I want to say this in the beginning, I don't like to get water in my soap. That's just me. If you want to do it, it is entirely okay for you to do. I don't do it because I don't like doing it. However, I just want to try this. I also want to mention that Doug introduced another method. If you don't want to get water in your soap, you can take soap out, put it in another container, and do this as well. So I just wanted to caveat that. If you don't want to get water in your soap, you don't have to. You can, scoop out some poop soap and put it in another container. Peter's going to be mad at me for saying scoop out some poop. Oof. Anyway, what he did was fill this tub with a little bit of water to start with. And I'll be honest, that hurts me. So we put water in, can't see it, but it's not all the way to the top. He puts the cap on and he just shakes it. And he shakes it until there's what he calls a froth. And so we're going to just continue to shake it. And of course, some of these aren't. We'll shake it until you don't hear the water moving around as much. And that is now. And so what he does is take the cap off. And I believe he pours the froth. It's really hard for you to see this, but it's foamy. I believe he pours that into either the lid or another container. So I'm going to grab a bowl real quick, stand by. All right, so we're back with our Captain's Choice bowl. And I'm just going to pour the froth into that bowl. And then what he does is load the existing froth, which you can't see because the lights are too bright up here. He loads the brush in this froth. And I'm probably doing it wrong, Doug, so I apologize. But it was so interesting. I thought, once again, I'm not one of these people that thinks I can't learn anything. I'm always learning things. And this to me was interesting. And so I figured, let's give it a go. And I doubt it will work for me the way it worked for Doug, because I've never done this before. But it was so interesting, I thought, I'll try it. Why the heck not? Be open, have an open mind. So we're gonna mist the dome here and get some moisture going. I probably should have used that. Actually, Doug used bloom water, if you want to call it that. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna reach in here and get a little bit of that and just sort of use it. But anyway, I don't know how this is gonna work. It may not work well at all, and then Doug will be telling me you don't know what you're doing, which is true. I don't when it comes to his method, but no reason we can't try it. Okay, so then he took the brush, and I'm just going to put the rest of that little bit on the dome there. I wipe my hands off here. He took the brush, which he scooped up some of that froth, and just began building a lather with it. Again, just what I removed from the top of the tub. And I'm going to turn that upside down. And this is a sample of the Kaizen soap from Sneaky Pete Charkelis of Ariana and Evans, the Shape and Shop Club, so on and so forth. Doug's going to cause me to lather clear down into my eyeballs. So Doug, thanks a lot. Anyway, honestly, there's more lather happening here than I would have expected. So now I'm going to dip what he does is dip his brush in the froth. And we'll continue on adding water from the froth, as Doug calls it. My shirt's coming off. See, Doug, you've caused me to hulk out of my shirt already. And I realized that this isn't coming over well. The lights there are so bright that it's hard to see. But that looks pretty good to me. Let's add some more water from the froth water. This is a really interesting method that I've never seen before. And usually when I do one of these things, people are like, oh, I did that in 1976 or whatever. I get it. But I've only seen Doug do it. He's the only one I've ever seen do this. And actually, it's not coming across on the camera. That's pretty doggone good. I might have to try this for the face shave today as well. By the way, this Kaizen, it's got a nice scent. The scent that I have here, which was a sample, a testing version, it's been changed. It's very stout. For me, this was as close to a 10 as a soap gets in soap strength. Anyway, I must say, even though it's not coming across, it's pretty doggone good. Pretty doggone good. So let's get started. It's been a while since I did a head shave because I cut myself last week, like Monday or whenever it was. The leaf, folks, and I've been mentioning this, and I want people to understand something about the leaf. It is the best head shaver for me. I absolutely love it, but I'm telling you, you must treat it with respect, because what happens is it will make you feel really, really comfortable because it pivots and it's like a cart. But for all of you saying, oh, it's too much like a cart, I'm telling you, it's not a cart, and it will bring blood if you tempt it or if you get sloppy. So please understand that the leaf is not a cart razor. It has 3 half double-edged razor blades. Don't lose your focus. If you make a horizontal movement like that with anything, you're going to get a cut. Or if you just do something silly, too much pressure, whatever the case may be. You can use some pressure, but just be careful, because if you feel like you can't cut yourself with the leaf, I got plenty of places. I got one still over here on the dome that will tell you differently. I hope everyone is doing well today. I really am so appreciative of what you all who have done for Manny. We've all banded together, and I think that's terrific. And I think most people feel really good about it. And Tim and I are the ones who started the effort, but it's all of you who are making it happen. And so every one of you, take a bow, because you've really made it happen. We're just here to facilitate it. And I know, in speaking to Tim, he has the exact same feeling about it as I do. We just talked about it. You guys are doing it. We're doing our part too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like we're doing nothing, because we are. We're both digging in our pockets and our wares, just like you all. But we couldn't do it without you. You folks are the most important. So really, take a bow. Thank you very much. And I mean that. There's nothing better than being of service, And obviously, I know many of people have gone through similar things, and not everybody has always been helped. And you can't help every single person. I get that. But I know Manny, and he's a good guy, and so I'm happy to do it. And many people I want to mention don't know Manny very well at all. And I don't know him well, but I've known of him for a long time, and I've spoken to him a couple of times, and he's a good dude. And so a lot of you don't know him, but you've contributed anyway, and that is just fantastic. That's phenomenal, and that's what this community is about. And I know sometimes people get tired of hearing what a great community is, but it's times like this when you just really realize that it's a fantastic community with fantastic, generous people and businesses, like the ones I mentioned in the beginning. And there will be more. So if I missed you, by the time this video airs, it is not deliberately, because we're contacting people. And the reason we're collecting things to raffle is because it just generates more money. And we're close to our initial goal already, but we're not going to stop there, because this family has been through a lot. As I mentioned before, they're working class people, and we want to do what we can. And we thank all of you. I didn't mention the individuals who are contributing items, but we will. And so thank you. Thank you so much. And I can't say that enough. And so I hope you'll forgive me if I, mention it a number of times, because it truly means a lot. So thank you. All right, that was an excellent first pass. I must say, so I'm going to take more of this froth water and just sort of wet the dome again. My lather probably doesn't look as good as Doug's, but it works. And I have never seen this before, where somebody just I did not load my brush from the puck. All I did was swirl it on top of the froth that was there. So I didn't press down at all. I just scooped up what was in. And it's really a unique thing. And honestly, I know somebody's going to comment below that they've done it before. It's entirely possible for two people to have the same idea at different times and not know it, not be aware of each other. So if you've also done this, then great. I'm not trying to steal the credit, but I saw Doug do it, and he made the video first. And so therefore, for me, it's not that important, but that's where I saw it. So I just wanted to let you know that, and we'll see how pass 2 goes, which is certainly the final pass when we do these head shaves. And honestly, it worked better than expected, although I haven't done it at the degree of proficiency that Doug did, obviously, because this is how he makes lather. I've never seen anything like it, where you put water in it and shake it up and just use the froth. I thought that was cool. And again, I'm one of these people that's not afraid to experiment, and just because I do something some way for 8 years doesn't mean that I should always do it that way. If something, keep an open mind. Obviously, on some things, I have some opinions that I need evidence before I'll change my opinion. But, if there's a technique that works, I'm certainly willing to try it. Let's pick up a little bit of that froth water there and get some of that goodness in here. I just thought this was really interesting. So please go check out his video below. And please check out the Scented Soldier Shaves, who's been extremely helpful. And his organization skills are unparalleled. And so when I reached out to him and said, hey, let's do something for Manny, he was like, let's go. There's no question. It's just like full go mode. And so obviously I have a great deal of respect for that sort of person who they don't question. They're just into action. And so that's sort of a characteristic of a military person too, I want to mention, speaking of military, I saw another guy today, the Chief Shaves, I think. Thick neck. Of course, when I do that, it's all double chin, but when he does it, thick neck. Really nice. First time I saw his video today or yesterday, whenever this airs, I don't know whenever. Good video. He uses giant blade, Max, one of those Max Sprecher, really nice looking custom straights. And his channel flowed like, I always tell people when they ask, you got to keep it moving, don't allow too much dead air, keep conversation going. And I thought he did a very good job with that. And so I really enjoyed his video. So Chief, well done. And when I say chief, I don't mean chief like Native American. I mean chief like chief in the Navy, I presume. So if I got that wrong, Chief, I'm sorry. But anyway, seemed to be a nice guy. I don't know him well, but I did appreciate his video. So Chief, well done on that video. Looking forward to more. Okay, so let's set that down and go on with pass 2. Honestly, this lather is really nicely hydrated. You can't see it in the camera probably, but there's a good sheen to it. It's performing very well. This soap is a very good quality. Honestly, the last base was a very good quality too. And so keep that in mind. When artisans are making new formula of soaps now, it's not one of those things where every soap you had in the last formula, you need to throw it out, because it's obsolete, It's not that way. His last soap is good. This one is good too. So don't throw out your old A&E soaps, But this one is quite good. Very good residual slickness there. Really good stuff. Pete has learned to make excellent soaps. When he first started out, he commissioned a lot of people to make soaps. And then he just started sort of trying his hand at it. And I would say at this point, he's quite good at it. This is a really nice soap that I have really enjoyed. And I've tried it a few times because I'm one of his testers. And this is a really good soap. There's no question about it. It's got a really nice sweet scent, which has been changed a little bit since the tester went out. But it's a good soap. Make no mistake about in terms of quality. It's excellent. Scent is going to be subjective, but if you like sweet scents, this is a good one. Citrusy. There's a lot of elements of citrus, actually. It is quite sweet, but again, he's toned it down. See, my hands are getting slippery here. Let's get this alum. So one thing about the leaf, it does. Now, some people don't find it slippery, but I do. So I'll get the alum there and try not to reopen that cut that's on the dome there. I don't know how I cut myself last week. It was off camera. I was just doing a head shave. And next thing I know, there was blood. And I was like, what did I do this time? So this thing it's an excellent head shaver. I saw John Shaves 101. He shaved his face with it. He didn't really care for it, but I really love it. And so you're going to have that where some people just don't like it. And for him, I think it was a little on the mild side, and it's tall from top to bottom. So it's not an ideal face shaver for everyone. I actually don't mind it on my face, but some people don't care for it. They do have a satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't like it it's probably 30 days, I want to say. You could send it back if you wanted to. I've found that it's strongest, or where I think it performs best, is on the dome. The pivot really works well, and I think it's well suited for that. So we're shaving now just on residual slickness. Plenty of slickness. I could just slap water on here, and as long as I keep water on it, it mixes with that, leftover residual, and it works just fine. And that was a really nice head shave. I'm going to use an aftershave that my buddy Chris Garcia sent me. I think he said it was maybe Declaration Grooming Bandwagon. It smells really good. So let me rinse it down. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, and we're back with our Lancaster towel. I've been seeing some folks have been getting some automotive towels and having some success with those. And that's cool. Absolutely nothing wrong with finding something you can use that works well. The real property of these towels that make them nice, the Lancaster obviously has the snap there that just makes it cool, but it wicks away moisture. And so some of the automotive ones works, very well for that. So that's fantastic. And we are going to set that aside. And actually, we're not going to put on aftershave because we're going to take a shower. That was a fantastic head shave. with the Ariana and Evans Kaizen. Terrific soap scent, terrific soap base. Sneaky Pete, big thumbs up. I love it. Head feels fantastic. What can I say? The Doug Bear method works. I didn't do it as well as him, but that frothing absolutely does work. I just wanted to try it because I've never seen anybody do that. And again, I expect in the comments for somebody to say, I've been doing that since 1957. Okay, I get it. Good. Well, Doug also does it. Check out Doug's channel below. Watch the video because he does it far better than me. And also, donate to the fundraiser if you can. Again, if you give at least $5, you'll be entered to possibly win some good gear. So thanks everybody for watching. Until next time, it's your shave, do it your way, and God bless.